so I want to talk about Kamille McKinney. Her family nicknamed her Cupcake, so in a lot of the news stories, you'll see people calling her Cupcake. But she's a little 3-year-old girl from Birmingham, Alabama. Absolutely an adorable little black, beautiful angel, okay? And about a week and a half ago, she was outside playing with one of her little friends and she went missing. And so a lot of people were looking for her and hoping that she would be found safely and returned home to her family. Unfortunately, the local police department, along with the FBI, reported yesterday that they found little Kamille's remains in a dumpster. And so this is now a homicide investigation. And there were 2 people who were initially viewed as persons of interest. They are now being treated as suspects in the disappearance and murder of Kamille McKinney. And it's frightening to think about what this poor, sweet little girl went through. There's a black couple that's being treated as a suspect. And the guy was found with child pornography, either on a computer or a cell phone. And the woman was previously charged with kidnapping her own children. And it just disgusts me. And a lot of people are wondering if this is some sort of, you've seen couples do this before where it's like they will kidnap a child and they act out whatever sick, disgusting fantasies that they have. And this is just horrible. And if you look at the surveillance video with Kamille when she was outside playing with one of her friends, 2 people approached Kamille and her little friend. And the second person who approached them kind of talked to them for a little while. And then when you look at the surveillance video, it ends with the 2 little girls walking off with this man. And I don't know what happened with the second little girl. I'm hoping that they did not also abduct her. But you just see them. That's just the end of the surveillance video. And it's just, I can't even imagine what this kid went through. And so I just want us to really understand that a lot of these conversations that we have about the protection of Black girls have larger real world implications. I did an upload before about how human and child traffickers have been interviewed, and they openly say in their interviews that the reason that they kidnap Black children is because they don't expect a lot of pushback from the families. So they feel like the families either won't care enough about the children to really push to find them, or that they won't have enough resources to try to find the kids. And then B, they feel like they will get a lighter sentence if they do get caught. And so I think that a lot of Black people don't want to acknowledge that in a lot of these cases where a child goes missing, it's not a John Benet Ramsey. It's a Kamille McKinney, a Malia Davis, a Naraya Brown. So, the magnitude of this problem, you guys, is probably something that most of us can't imagine. And so my thoughts and prayers go out to Kamille McKinney's family. And I hope that those of you with kids really connect with your local law enforcement, because I know where I live, they will have some days where they do basically like a safety awareness conversation with, families, particularly those of you with kids. And what they do in those conversations is they're basically telling the children ways that they can react if someone, you know, tries to kidnap them, you know, and they tell the kids, like, you know, you don't walk off with strangers, or if someone tries to make you go with them, you can scream, or you can say, this isn't my mommy, this isn't my daddy, or I don't know you. And they say that in a lot of cases, if kids are taught to do that, if they're taught to bring some attention to themselves, and they're taught to make it known that, hey, I don't know this person, then that can be the difference between them being kidnapped or not being kidnapped. And so it may be good to connect with your local law enforcement and really see if they can talk to you about ways to keep your kids safe. And a lot of times too, really little kids are so trusting, and you know, they're taught not to question adults. They're taught to do what adults tell them, right? So a lot of us as family members have to really teach kids, like, okay, if you don't know the person, don't go away with them. And even if you know the person, if mommy or daddy didn't tell you that, hey, Uncle Leroy or Aunt Tanisha is coming to pick you up, then you don't go with them until you can get somewhere, you know, if you're at school, and until you can have somebody at the school call mommy and daddy and make sure that you're supposed to go with them. I mean, these are the conversations that law enforcement is telling parents to have with their children, because a lot of times, especially, you know, in Black families, we do not teach children to question authority. Okay, you can get popped or get your little mouth popped, okay, if you're a little kid in a Black family questioning what an adult tells you. And we have to think about the danger that that presents in a situation where someone has horrible intentions with the child. All right, I'll talk to you all soon.